you're going to be wrong just as often as you're right. So I'm not worried about indexing, making the Magnificent Seven too magnificent, or that they're going to make the market inefficient. There'll always be somebody in a capitalist system who will be around as long as there's a profit opportunity, somebody's going to seize it.
Mm-hmm. And you were mentioning efficient markets and the efficient market hypothesis. And can we explore that and what folks get wrong about that? It gets brought up in the media, and I know I'm a former member of the press. It gets, yeah, so we get it wrong. So can you just kind of help us understand the hypothesis and what people get wrong?
The market hypothesis means that information gets recorded into stock prices so that if there's the cure for cancer, if there is a new clean source of energy that a company has that's going to be a big winner, it'll get reflected in the prices. What people get wrong is they say that means that prices of stocks are always correct. It doesn't mean that. In fact, prices of stocks are always wrong. What it says is they're always wrong, but nobody knows whether they're too high or too low. And the market gets it right more often than any active manager or anybody who thinks they are smarter than the market. So it doesn't mean the prices are always right. And it doesn't mean that there can't be bubbles. There can be bubbles, but you can never time them. You can never know when. You only know you are in the bubble after it's popped. And let me give you an example. The person who coined the term irrational exuberance was Alan Greenspan. And we did have a bubble in internet stocks that crashed in early 2000. And Alan Greenspan is often the guy who is credited with he saw it, he understood it, called it irrational exuberance. What people forget is that Alan Greenspan made that irrational exuberance speech in 1996. If you had bought the day after Alan Greenspan's irrational exuberance speech and just held through today, you would have done beautifully because the market went up for the next 4 years. So it doesn't mean that there wasn't a bubble, that it wasn't wrong. Sure, it was wrong, but nobody knew the time that it was going to break. And the Alan Greenspans of the world who labeled it irrational exuberance, labeled it that way in advance, and you couldn't have made any money by acting on it. Now, let's talk about the meme stocks. Hedge funds, what they try to do is they try to look for those kinds of bubbles, and they want to short the stocks. They'll sell them short so that they can buy them back later. And so when the meme stocks were going crazy, it was a bubble. Absolutely. Market was crazy. It wasn't right. But remember, one of the hedge funds that went bankrupt betting against the memes, betting against the meme stocks, because as the mantra of the hedge funds is, the market can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. So efficient markets means that you're not going to be smarter than the information gets recorded. You're not going to be smarter than the market. The market's not always going to be right. It's always going to be wrong. Sometimes it's going to be spectacularly wrong. But don't think that you're smart enough to know when those periods are. And if you start betting against it, you're going to be wrong more often than you're right.
is so